Steph Curry isn't just one of the best shooters of all time. He changed the way basketball is played. But before the championships, the MVPs, and the dynasty, there was a business decision that shifted the balance of power in the sneaker world. Nike had Steph Curry. He wore their shoes, repped their brand, and looked like a future face of the company. Then somehow they let him slip away, and Under Armour swooped in. This is the story of how one mistake changed the trajectory of a brand, a player, and the entire sneaker industry. Back in 2009, when Steph Curry entered the NBA, he was seen as a promising shooter. Not yet the superstar he'd become. Nike signed him to a small endorsement deal, one typical for mid-first round picks. Steph loved their gear and grew up idolizing Nike athletes like LeBron James and Kobe Bryant. Over the next few years, Curry started to build a following. He wasn't flashy, just deadly accurate, efficient, and humble. By 2013, he had led the Warriors into the playoffs, and his stock was rising fast. Nike had a perfect chance to make him their next big star, the guy to carry their brand into a new era of basketball. But when it came time for renewal meetings, Nike didn't treat it that way. Instead, they made one of the most infamous business blunders in sports marketing history. When Curry and his father Dell arrived at the Nike pitch meeting, they expected a polished, personal presentation, the kind of meeting reserved for a future superstar. But it was the opposite. Nike executives reportedly mispronounced his name, calling him Stephon instead of Steph. Worse, the presentation still had Kevin Durant's name left in parts of the PowerPoint. A copy-paste job. Del Curry later said that the lack of effort was obvious. Nike wasn't treating Steph like someone they wanted to build around. And when it came time to discuss the renewal, Nike refused to offer him his own basketball camp, something Curry valued because it would let him connect with young players. It wasn't about money, it was about respect, vision, and how they saw him as an athlete. That careless approach told Steph everything he needed to know, and that's when Under Armour stepped in. At the time, Under Armour was trying to break into basketball. They were big in football, strong with training gear, but had no NBA face to lead their line. They saw Curry's potential, not just as a player, but as a symbol. When Under Armour executives met with him, they didn't see him as a mid-tier guard. They saw him as the future of basketball. They gave him the attention Nike didn't. They asked about his faith, his goals, his game, and his vision for helping kids believe in themselves. Curry signed with Under Armour in 2013, and within 2 years, he became the most marketable athlete in the NBA. When he won MVP and led the Warriors to their first title in over 40 years, sales of his signature shoe skyrocketed. Under Armour's stock price jumped nearly 350% over the next 2 years, all because they believed when Nike didn't. Nike's mistake didn't just lose them a player. It cost them a generational brand identity. Steph Curry became a cultural icon, the player kids wanted to imitate, the athlete every underdog could relate to. His success turned Under Armour from a football brand into a household name in basketball. Even when sales dipped later, Curry's loyalty never wavered. He stayed with Under Armour through the ups and downs, eventually launching his own division, Curry Brand, a direct competitor to Nike's Jordan brand. Curry said it best when he said, "It's not about the logo on your chest, it's about what the logo stands for." And for Under Armour, that logo stood for belief. Nike's one oversight turned into Under Armour's biggest victory, proof that sometimes the smallest mistakes have the biggest consequences. Today, Steph Curry isn't just a four-time champion, he's a global brand with his own sneaker line, foundation, and legacy. Nike still dominates the market, but they'll always have that what if. What if they treated that 25-year-old guard from Davidson like the future of basketball? Because they didn't, Under Armour did, and the rest is history. The mistake that let Under Armour steal Steph Curry will go down as one of the biggest L's in sports marketing history. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.